Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I want to welcome you out to Jay's Learning School. Today we're going to learn kitchen vocabulary words in English. So let's get ready to go into today's lesson and do some learning. Today's vocabulary word, or first vocabulary word, is stove. Stove. Now in this country there are two types of stoves, or two types that are primary. You have a gas stove and an electric stove. Now, I'm pretty young, but back in the day, there are some people that had a wood burning stove. And so their stove, they would cook their food on the stove using the heat from burning wood. And so you rarely see that in this country now. And so the types of stoves that are more familiar and prevalent are the gas and the electric stove. A blender. This is a blender used to blend vegetables, mix drinks. Some people use a blender to chop ice, make smoothies, milkshakes, things of that nature. A blender. Next, we have a bowl. A bowl. And of course, a bowl is used in the kitchen to mix things such as eggs, use a bowl to eat things such as cereal, jello, oatmeal, and other types of items. A bowl. And of course, you have glass bowls, plastic bowls. You even have styrofoam bowls that you use one or two times and then you discard or throw them away. A knife. Knife. And of course, a knife can be used for self-defense, but in the kitchen, the knife is used to cut items such as fruit, vegetables, meat. And this is what is called a butcher knife. All right, so a knife. A spoon. Spoon. Used to eat different foods with. A spoon. A fork. Fork. Another utensil that is used to eat food with. Now, when it comes to cleaning the kitchen, this tool is used. It's called a mop. A mop. More specifically, some people consider this to be the mop head, but you use this to clean the floor, a mop. And right beside it is the mop bucket. A broom. A broom. The broom is used, of course, to sweep the floor. And you would use the broom, especially when you're trying to teach a child, you use the broom first to sweep the floor, then the mop to come back to clean the floor. So, a broom. Now, when it comes to the storage space in a kitchen, things are stored in this, a cabinet. A cabinet. Now, if it's a floor cabinet, such as this picture, you use the top of the cabinet is called a countertop, and you can use that to cut and do other duties on. But to store items in the kitchen, whether it be cups, plates, pans, pots, glasses, utensils, and even food, you place it in a cabinet. This right here is a tool called a can opener. Now you have the one on the left, which is simply something you use in your hand, and then you have, or a manual can opener. And then the one on the right is an electric can opener that you plug into the wall and you use it to open your cans. A cup. Cup. This is a plastic cup. And you usually use beverages in this cup that are cold. Teacup. Teacup. Drinking hot items such as tea. Coffee. Cocoa, espressos that are hot, you use a teacup. A glass. Glass. Now, where you clean the dishes, clean your food, clean vegetables, clean fruit, this is called a sink. A sink. And sometimes when you have a baby, you can wash the baby in the sink. I remember I was washed in a sink. Some people do their hair in the sink, of course. A sink. A dishwasher. A dishwasher. There are some houses like my grandmother's house. She is no longer with us. She's passed. She didn't have a dishwasher, so everything that was done in the house when it came to cleaning the pots and the pans and the utensils, we did it all by hand in the sink. But then the dishwasher came along. My other grandmother, who was also passed, she had the dishwasher. And so we would just throw all the dishes in there and let it clean it. A dishwasher. A dish towel. And so you use this to dry towels, to dry your hands, to dry pots, pans, plates, glasses, utensils, and so forth. A dish towel. A pot. Pot. Ooh, you can cook some good food in a pot. Some greens, different types of roast, beans. A pot. Most young women in this country do not know how to use a pot. All right. It's so funny. I ask a lot of young girls at the church, I said, you cooking yet? They like to go out to eat. They don't cook. In order to cook at the house, you have to use a pot. A pan. Fry some bacon in. Some bologna. Fried bologna. Get that bologna, put it in there, put a little butter in there, warm it up, then the middle will pop up. Boy, watch out now. A pan. A refrigerator. Refrigerator. Some people just call it a fridge. Older people call it an ice box. Refrigerator, ice box, or the fridge. Freezer. More specifically, people usually call this a deep freezer because unlike a refrigerator, this is not going to just keep your items cold. This is going to freeze them solid. Okay, so you would freeze your fish, your meats, some vegetables, ice creams, pies, whatever you want to use for an extended time, you can place it in the freezer. I place my bread in the freezer. Freeze my bread. Garbage can. Garbage can. Jar. Jar. Now this is more specifically called a mason jar. Okay? A lot of young people don't know you use the jars to preserve different types of fruits and vegetables. My grandmother used to use these type jars to make preserves, fig preserves, and what else was it? It was primarily, and pears. She had pear trees, fig trees, and a grapevine. And she would make preserves. Man, she would put them in there, let them sit, put some nutmeg in them. That would be good. Some people make jelly and they place it in the jar. Some people harvest honey and they place it in these type jars. So a jar. A mixer. Mixer. Okay, people that like to bake a lot of goods and cook, they use an electric mixer. Napkin. Napkin. And of course you use this to wipe your face when you eat or clean up a spill. Napkin. Paper towel. Paper towel. I'm a napkin guy. My wife, she's a paper towel woman. She likes paper towels. I like napkins. So we have both in the house. Okay? Paper towel. Toaster. Toaster. Would you believe I actually had 4 pieces of toast this morning? I like raisin toast. Okay? Toaster. Rolling pin. Now, I'm familiar with the rolling pin, but I'm not a biscuit baker like that. I like to buy my biscuits already pre-made and just throw them in the oven. But people that know how to bake biscuits and do other type of desserts and rolls and bread, tortillas and things of that nature, they use a rolling pin. If you have a rolling pin in your house, you're probably a good cook, or a good cook lives in your home. Most people that can't cook don't have a rolling pin. A kettle. Kettle. Used to boil water. Spatula. Spatula. You use this when you're cooking, when you're trying to flip different items that you're cooking, like an egg or French toast or a pancake. Spatula. Some parents use a spatula to pop their kids. A spatula. And our last word for the day, a whisk. A whisk, used in the kitchen to mix different items, also used to beat eggs. A whisk, and you would use a whisk with a bowl, and really good cooks can use a whisk with a pan and they can do their thing, but a whisk is used to mix items together or beat items like an egg. All right. I want to thank you so much for watching today's episode, where we had vocabulary words that had to do with kitchen items. I hope you join me on my next lesson right here on Jay's Learning School, and thank you so much for your time. God bless you.